Howdy, howdy, folks. Welcome to another edition of Sticks and Stones. I'm over here trying to get my old cell phone working so I can, don't need a picture-in-picture. A lot of stuff going on. So I can watch myself on X. It's an old phone. Every time I turn it on, it wants to try and update the software. It doesn't have service. It just has internet. So I have to search for myself. I really hate that part of it, but you know, it's what I got, so I make it work. Anyway, I got a great show for you today. I'm gonna keep jacking around with this, trying to figure out where I'm at. But I am pairing two offerings that I think are going to be spectacular, and I think you're really going to like it. I am pairing GlenDronach 12-year-old single malt Scotch with, this is a good one, My Father La Promesa. And this is a Toro, 6x52 on the ring gauge. I think you're really going to love it. I try to watch myself, number one, so that I can see what I'm doing, but also so that I can see what people are saying, because you know I have a lot more people on X watching than I do on YouTube. Anyway, all right. So when you're exploring whiskey pairings, harmony is really the key. That's what you're looking for, whether it is complementary or whatever the other C word is for not complementary. Each element should play off the other to help bring in to bring all the flavors together. Shit, I'm gonna get this right because I'm jacking around with this phone. GlenDronach, if you haven't heard of it, and it's not from what I've had, I mean, you can tell I've had this bottle a while. It's almost empty, and I do really love it. And when I bought it, it's probably a year and a half old. I'd never really heard of it. You know, you always hear of, you know, like the blended Scotch. Everybody knows Johnny Walker, and then Glenmorangie and Glenlivet and Glenfiddich and all that. GlenDronach I hadn't heard of, but they are catching on, and here in the U.S. And it is a really great Scotch. It is a single malt. It is not a blended Scotch. And I think we're going to find as we go through this that the cigar, the My Father La Promesa, and the GlenDronach are really going to have this exemplary match that is rooted in the richness and complexity of the two offerings. Now, the GlenDronach, this is a sherry cast single malt, and this is Highland. It's from the Highland regions in Scotland. It is matured in a combination of Pedro Ximénez and Oloroso sherry casks. It's 43% alcohol by volume, so 86 proof. Let's go ahead and glass them up, take a look at it. Now, kind of feel like I'm in a hurry because I'm messing around with technology. Shit. Yeah, I'm getting old. I sound like my mom, her complaining about her cell phone. As you can see, that is just a beautiful spirit in the glass. It's got this really like deep amber color, and maybe even some like ruby reddish highlights to it on the nose. It's very sweet on the nose. It's got that sherry forward kind of aroma to it. I get some like dried figs or raisins. There's some like brown sugar and dark cherries for kind of a hint of sweetness. And that's all kind of underpinned by some baking spices and more of the stronger baking spices. I consider them stronger, like nutmeg and clove. And then there's also this nice faint aroma of oak really in the background. Now, on the palate. when the sip first touches your tongue, you get this burst of like fruity sweetness. And then as it passes over your tongue, you really get the full effect of it. It is full-bodied, kind of silky. It's got some really nice notes of toffee and chocolate and dates. I love dates. I'm not much of a, I like raisins, but not, don't do any like the dried prunes or anything like that, but I do love dried dates. I love them. And then there's a little bit of spice in there. You do get a hint of whiskey burn, but not a lot. And I think that the Pedro Ximénez casks bring in a really nice, like rounded syrupy sweetness influence, while the Oloroso kind of adds a nutty dryness to its structure. It's really great. And it has a really nice, I'm using my camera that keeps track of my face. It's kind of hard to, because it's constantly moving. Where was I at? Oh, I was on the finish. It has a really nice, long, warm and lingering finish. Now let me get another sip because it's starting to die away. It's got a really nice, lingering oakiness with some spice and a nice, like dark fruit compote, kind of like, blackberries or plums, something like that, but kind of made into like a jelly. Try to explain it so everybody can get it. Overall, GlenDronach, the 12 is a standout, I think, in the sherried cask Scotch category. It's bold, but it is refined. It offers kind of a richness, but also a really good depth without overwhelming your palate. And I think that's going to be a key with this combination, because this is one of those that you want to kind of bring two spirit and a cigar together that's about equal, and you don't have one outshining the other. So with that, let's move on. I'm doing good, aren't I? The La Promesa from My Father. My Father makes they make some awesome cigars. They are very good, and I love the banding. It's just got some beautiful banding on it, kind of like San Cristobal, right? Got a little spot on the wrapper. I dropped it. I dropped it heel first, and it put pressure on it. So it's my fault. But anyway, this is made by Jaime Garcia, and he did this honoring his father, Jose Pepin Garcia, who is a legend in the premium cigar industry. The binder and filler are both Nicaraguan, so there should be a little bit of spice to it. The wrapper is an Ecuadorian Habano Rosado. It never fails. I start doing something, and then I have somebody wanting to try and get in touch with me with that at that moment. Yeah. So anyway, on the nose. It's really soft and subtle on the nose. You get some hints of spice and cedar, maybe a little bit of just kind of a touch of earthiness to it. I don't know if it's following me or the cigar. It keeps moving back and forth. And maybe just some hints of chocolate in there. Let's go ahead and, I was going to tell you about the rest of the outside of it here. It is, like I said, this is a Toro 6x52 on the ring gauge. It is a really beautiful, beautiful kind of light brown. It's got tight but visible seams and moderate veining. A couple of them are kind of pronounced. The main one is like right there. I could see it on the camera, so I know you can. But nothing bad. I don't see any tooth in it. We'll see how that goes along because I love tooth. All right, let's give it a cut and a cold draw. I'll go ahead and take this beautiful little cloth band off the bottom. My pool guy may be here any moment. I just saw a text message from him. I need a few more things going on today, don't I? Yep. Try to enjoy. I didn't even get to partake in Fuente Friday yesterday. I got three different Arturo Fuentes in my humidor. I didn't get to light up any one of them. So anyway, all right, where are we at? Cold draw. Don't do that. I told somebody yesterday. Don't do that at the cigar bar if you're using the cigar bar. I mean the cigar places, lounge, whatever, cutter. Yeah, that's about the only thing that you really can get people pissed off about at the cigar lounge is putting your spit on a cigar and then sticking it into the community cutter. I always carry my own, and I always have, as a backup, I always buy lighters that have at least a punch in the bottom of them. So, you know, anyway, cold draw. The cold draw is fairly simple. I get some nice earthiness with some hints of barnyard and some really nice sweet cedar. Let's go ahead and fire it on up here. It is time. I'm on a schedule. Trying to get y'all out of here today. And I'm sorry I never could get Twitter to work on my other phone. So I have no idea if y'all are saying anything or not. But feel free to talk amongst yourselves. Also, you know, I told you I dropped this one and the pressure kind of did a number on the wrapper. Also, my big 650 count humidor stopped working like a month ago. It's probably longer than that. The screen stopped working. So I talked to the manufacturer. They said, sounds like a control board, $69 and 3 weeks to get there from China, and you'll be set up. So I put it in. Once I got it, screen worked great, but now it won't control the humidity. Damn it. I may try it again, you know. And by the way, this is a wonderful stick. Give me just a second. Watching a little baseball too, little Brewers and Dodgers. I don't really care. It was sports on, so. One more. All right. I get a really nice kind of black pepper up front that kind of, I don't know, transitions into notes of like cocoa and cedar and a little bit of florally sweetness in there. It's really a great smoke. I mean, My Father, they do make some of the best. They do. That's a really great smoke. Wow. That is really awesome. Sidebar. We'll get back to this in just a second. Like I said, it's the Brewers and the Dodgers, and I guess it's Clayton Kershaw pitching for the Dodgers. They haven't been out in the field since I've had this turned on, and I can't even pronounce the name of the guy that's pitching for the Brewers, but they did a little graphic, and they were showing the difference in pitching speeds. And you normally think of Clayton Kershaw as having a big arm. Out in front of the plate, Clayton Kershaw's ball was going 89 miles an hour, about a foot in front of the plate. The guy that's pitching for the Brewers, his was over 99 miles an hour as it goes over the plate. Damn. Boy got a cannon. All right. I know I'm a little jumpy today, a little squirrely. Anyway, I do believe that the kind of the dark fruit and the sherry richness of the Scotch kind of echo the cigar's notes of cocoa and earthy sweetness. They go very well together. Little touch up, don't know. I always say this could have been me, could be the cigar. I don't put too much stock in it. I mean, I like for mine to kind of burn really, fairly straight, because you don't like one that like burns at an angle or whatever. But when people say, "Oh yeah, it's just got a razor straight burn line," it's a natural product. It's grown. It's not created. It's going to be wavy. It is, and it'll be really wavy at your lighting. There's my doorbell. I think both offerings give us a kind of a spicy, nuanced layer. The GlenDronach, through its baking spices, kind of the clove, nutmeg and clove, and the La Promesa through its pepper and cedar. I do think it's one of those that they're not complementary. They're separate things, but when you combine them together, they make each one a little better. Now, I don't think you could ask for anything more when you're trying to do a pairing. A little warm out here today. Fortunately, the wind's blowing. My bald head is sweating. So this is why I wear a Stetson all the time, because there ain't nothing up there anymore. I'll do a throwback Thursday. I've got my first college student ID picture somewhere in the favorites on my phone. And you look at it and you're like, that ain't the same dude. Yeah, it is. That is it. I can't really put into words how good I think this cigar is. And I know they probably produce others that I haven't tried. They're probably even better. So feel free to leave some comments down there. Say, hey, if you like that one, you're gonna love this one. I love comments. Love them. You tell me I'm a dumbass. I don't care. I love comments, and it boosts me up the YouTube algorithm. So need all the comments I can get. You suck. Hey, love it. Whatever. You just leave me a heart emoji, thumbs up. I don't care. How long does it take you? 2 seconds to put a thumbs up emoji. I think one thing that you will find in this pairing that was it. Game's over. Okay. Is that the longer finish on the GlenDronach will extend into the transitions in the cigar, and that lets each kind of puff linger a little more fully on your palate with the spirit. It's like I do the blow the smoke in the glass, and but that puts the smoke and the spirit in such close proximity to one another when I take a drink. I really do think that you can, the way the GlenDronach's finish is, it really supports and kind of helps move the La Promesa across your palate and really give you that kind of experience that you're really looking for, right? Aren't we all? So I do have one thing. It has nothing to do with spirits and cigars other than the fact that it's on my social media, and that is I like X, but man, they've been hammering me hard on the algorithm. About 90 days ago, I was doing between 350,000 and 500,000 impressions a day. Now I'm averaging about 50. And I went through a 3-week period in late May and early June where I was barely able to scrape over 10,000. I haven't done anything different. I keep commenting and posting and sharing and all that kind of stuff. But their algorithm, it just goes up and down. After I had that big period, it dropped off for about a week, and then it popped back up again, and then it dropped back down, and this time it stayed a long time, and then all of a sudden, some reason, like 3 days ago, I started getting higher, but I've never gotten back to what I was before. I'm not a fan of the algorithm. So I've still got Premium Plus. What's today? Okay, yeah, I've still got Premium Plus through sometime next week, but I've already cut it back to just the premium because I'm like, I'm not paying $50 a month if you're going to stick me in the algorithm where I'm only getting like 10,000 impressions a day with as much as I post. Y'all need to try it, definitely. GlenDronach is not a really expensive spirit. I can't remember exactly what I paid for it because it was a long time ago, but I think it was somewhere like plus or minus, $50. And this, I believe, is their base offering here in the U.S. They may have something that is their base offering in Scotland or in Europe in general, but I think this is as far down the list as you can go here in the U.S. And it's a great spirit, and actually, it's been around for a long time. You don't really realize it, and something you really never heard of. But I'll butcher his last name, so I'm sorry. But it's James Allardyce, I believe is how it's said. He was the one that founded GlenDronach, and he lived from 1780 to 1849, and he founded the distillery in 1826. So it'll be 200 years next year. They've been around a while. Well, the Detroit Tigers say that there's going to be a delay in their game due to inclement weather. So, and we know about inclement weather here in Texas. Boy, somebody that down in the hill country, they're starting to build arks. They're like loading animals on because it just won't stop. Oh, that's another thing. I try not to get political, but this is just something it's one of these conspiracy theory things that you're just like, really? Cloud seeding caused all this. They've been cloud seeding for like 80 years. It just built up and now it's doing it. I even saw one of the conservative talk show hosts. He was on Fox this morning while I was on the elliptical. And so I was trying to read what he said because I'd heard this whole conspiracy theory thing. And he's like, I interviewed the CEO of the company that was doing the seeding down in that area. He said they did their seeding downwind from where all of this happened. So you can't push the clouds upwind because the clouds go with the wind. And he said, I did a lot of research on this whole thing. And he said, that's not what caused it. Our world is a world that we don't have as much control over it as we think we do. It's just one of those things. We have had periods of ice age. We have had periods of drought and heat, all kinds of stuff. We can't control it. So there's my soapbox. It really wasn't much of a soapbox, but I guess you could take from that, do your research. Don't just take what somebody says on social media. Because the dude did get, I said something on one of the weather things, and they were talking about this whole seeding thing, and I'm like, so should we trust the tinfoil hat wearing, hey, thank you, tinfoil hat wearing conspiracy theorists, or should we take the advice of the people that are trained in meteorology, like our weathermen at our, local station or whatever? And apparently he took that as a slight, and so he made a body shaming reference to me. Then he promptly blocked me, so I couldn't say anything else. I'm like, what a pussy. You're going to say something. You're going to denigrate somebody, and then you're going to block them so they can't say anything back. You're a big man. Big man. That is all kinds of ranging things today. But it is one thing that one of the real drawbacks of social media is now you've got so many people that are keyboard warriors. They are just tough as nails when they're behind their computer screen typing. But I even did a little research on this guy and found out he's a scamster. He's a fraud. He was trying to sell some kind of fitness product a few years ago, trying to swear that it was all natural. And the guy that invented it was out giving interviews saying it was synthetic. So he was lying, because I'm pretty sure if he's selling it, he's gotten the information from the company, and they're saying it's synthetic. So anyway, I don't mention any names. Hey, the Yankees and the Cubs. Cubs are, wow, nine. Matthew Boyd 9-3. Feel pretty good. Yeah, we're going to get to see another baseball game. Or I am. Y'all aren't going to be around here that long. I'm gonna keep it, under 45 today, because we're moving really nice through it. Not fast, not slow, just the right steady kind of burn. We'll get to about the halfway mark, and I'll let y'all have the rest of you Saturday back. This is just a nice, smooth, mellow smoke that's got, a little bit of a little bit of spice in it, and some really nice, like sweet notes of the cedar and cocoa. It's got that black pepper up front. It gives you a really great experience as you're smoking it. And, like I said, it's a natural product. It's going to have some waves and stuff in the burn, but that, to me, that's a nice straight burn. Really. And I mean, look at that ash. Look at the ash on that. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now, if any of you that are listening, or any of the people that there's a lot of people on X that I banter back and forth with about our cigars and whiskey and stuff like that. I have been thinking about trying to bring some people on. We could each smoke the same thing or smoke different things, and just kind of talk about cigars and whiskey or spirits in general. I pair a little bit of everything: rum, tequila, port wine. I think I've even done beer before. I think it was a Hershey's stout chocolate. It was a bit much for me. It was okay, but it was a bit much for me. That was strong. As far as the flavor, it wasn't like strong, but I never was a beer drinker back when I was in, like high school, when I couldn't afford, like expensive spirits. I just didn't like it. Beer, to me, it had a bitter taste. I didn't like it. But as I've grown up, I have developed a taste for it. I've got, of course, I live here in Texas, Republic of, and so I love Yuengling. Yuengling is out of Ohio. It's up there somewhere, one of those states. And I'm always posting on their threads on X. And it's made by Americans for Americans. It is the oldest brewery in the United States, and they make some great products. And they don't have any crap like some of those others did that nearly sunk themselves. They're just like, we're here to make beer and support America. That's what, just do what you're good at. Make beer. Stop with all the other BS. Wow. The first dude up hit a triple. Man, not a good way for the Yankees to start. The Cubbies have already rocked a triple on them. I loved the Cubs when I was like a teenager. Of course, back then, really your only choice was like the Braves or the Cubs where I lived, because we just didn't have a lot of channels. And and of course back then I loved Harry Carey. Take me, he's just drunk as he could be up there. Take me out to the ball game. And it really, when you watch the original Major League, and what's the guy's name? I can't think of his name now. He's a former player. He played for the Brewers. He kind of he kind of impersonated Harry Carey, you know, with his persona, and he's like sitting up there calling the game. He's got a bottle of Jack Daniels sitting beside him, and you know, he was like, yeah, that was just like Harry Carey. And that has one of the most iconic scenes in film, with Charlie Sheen coming out to be the relief pitcher, and they start pumping Wild Thing through the spirits, and everybody's just going crazy. I've watched that video, just that, on YouTube bunches of times, because I'll just think about it and I'm like, yeah, I want to watch that again. Loved it. That GlenDronach is really good. I don't know, I've talked more about the cigar than the spirit, but it has a really great profile to it. It's nice and silky on the mouth feel. It's got a really nice, not too long, but long lingering finish on it, and it's got some really great notes on the palate. I don't think you can go wrong with this one. I guess I'm kind of leading you where I'm going to be before it's all over with. This was a good one. Stick produces a really great volume of smoke. It's not a smoke monster and just, overload you with smoke, but it's also not one that you're having to draw on it really hard to get any smoke out of it. It's just right. It was like Goldilocks. This bed's too soft. This bed's too cold, too hard. This one's just right. This one's just right. Got that. Yep. Y'all saw it. I always let it go too far. Because I was just thinking, as I was sitting there talking, I probably need to tap this off. Trying to be real careful with it. Didn't matter. Still dropped. But it had a good inch and a half on it. That's what she said. I've been using that for a while. I love it. You can turn just about anything into it. That's what she said. That and this one time at band camp. That's another great one. If one of my daughters is telling a story, and I'll be like, after it goes on for a while, I'll be like, one time at band camp. Tell the story. I don't have time for a documentary. Just give me the cliff notes. All right, the cubbies are up. We're going to go just a few more minutes. It's 33 right now. We'll go just a few more minutes to make sure we really get into the last half, and I'll let y'all go. I don't want to keep y'all held up, and I don't have you up on X, so I can't tell. X wouldn't open for me over here. Damn it. Yeah, I have to put the explicit tag on every single video because I cuss like a sailor constantly. Well, which I was a sailor. I was a sailor and a soldier and an airman. So, Lord Jesus, it's not giving me the opportunity to see myself. Load my Sticks-n-Stonez thing. I sound like an old person, don't I? It won't let me do the thing. Goodness gracious. But it won't tell me that I'm live. There it is right there. All right. So now we can see. Hey. All right. There's 8 of you. Well, 7 of you and me. So that's great. I love it. I love seeing people. Well, kind of metaphorically speaking. I can see that you're there. Oh, now there is 8. All right. I think last week I had like 22. I did manage to make a post last night that said I would be going live about noon today, Central Time. So I would. Oh, now there's 9, and we keep going. I got another 10 minutes. We may get up to 20. That is a really great Highland Scotch. I am a lower smoke, lower peat kind of guy. I'm not much of an Islay drinker. I like Bruichladdich, and I do kind of like these are more islands, but they do tend to have that that Islay kind of notes to them, and that is Talisker. I do kind of like Talisker. Lafroig, but like Lagavulin, which is so popular with people, yeah, it's not for me. I tried one glass of it, one shot, one ounce shot. I couldn't even finish the shot. Nope, not doing this. It just was not for me. But I really am on the Highland and Speyside bandwagon. They are low smoke, low peat for the most part. They have these really nice, lighter, fruity notes. And it's a whole lot easier for me to pair them because I like all the notes that are in them. It makes it a little harder to pair, even though you want to do it because it's not all about me. It's you. And people like that, people, they like that stuff and I may not. So I have to, I feel like I have to do it. And I'm not a peat and smoke guy, but I think the GlenDronach is along the lines of Glenmorangie, the Glenlivet, Glenfiddich, and they're all from up in that area, either Highlands or Speyside. And that's the two regions that I love. I have not ever tried a Lowland or a Campbelltown. I've got to do that. So that may be hints of what's coming up here in the near future. So really good. We're getting about the halfway mark. I think I could probably let you go a little early. I don't want to, I don't want to keep you Saturday all hooked up because some of you may be watching from Europe and it's already like dinner time. I do want a little bit more, just a touch, not much, but I did do 4 miles on the elliptical this morning. So I have over 3,000 calories for the day to burn. And I can burn a few shots of scotch. It's all right, but here in the second half, we're still here. We're, kind of wavy, right? It's been a little more balanced, the cigar has, with some notes of coffee that have been introduced and a little bit of cream in there. It's still got that, nice refined earthiness. And while the pepper has kind of receded, it is still there. And especially is noticeable on the retrohale. And I'll do that again for you so you can see it. I can't do it really great, but and there's also to me a little bit of citrus in there, just a little bit of tart. I tend to get that in the retrohale on a lot of cigars, and I don't necessarily know if it's just my palate. And that's the really great thing about cigars is you may listen to what I say. You could even take notes and listen to what I say, and you go try the cigar, and you'll be like, I don't get any of that. It's individual, Everybody's going to pick up a little something different. We have a room in here that my wife will swear, and I think she's right, but I also see the other side of it. It's a really, really dark green. It's our library, and there's not much like bare wall in there, so the dark green doesn't really, stand out all that much. But there are people that come in and say it's gray. That's just the way it is. What I get, you may not get, and that's one of the things that I really love about doing these pairings, seeing what I get out of it, listening to other people, see what they get out of it. It is a magical experience. If you have never tried it and you're just listening to me from the first time and you've been thinking about it, go out and try it. Go to a cigar shop. Don't start by trying to order them online and all that kind of stuff. Go to a cigar shop and ask the tobacconist. I can't remember what they call them. Tabacalaras. I don't know. Anyway, just tell them, hey, I'm new. I want to try something. I don't want anything like, it's like going to be really strong. I want some more creamy flavors, and one that's more of a mild to medium type cigar. And they'll hook you up with something along the lines of a Olivet Series O or Series G, or Rocky Patel, Connecticut, something like that. That's where you start with your training wheels, and kind of see what you like and you don't like about that, And, you know, it may take you several times going there, but every time you go, you're going to learn something. And because these guys, they're there all day, they smoke cigars all day, they know what they're doing. And it really will give you an education. Spirits, I mean, you can take the advice of, you know, the clerk there at your local store, but spirits, you're really probably a little more on your own experimentation, you know. I really think that this pairing together has kind of started building in strength. I really hate that I'm not going to go the distance, but I just don't want to keep y'all around that long. Y'all been here for 45 minutes or 40 minutes. Overall, I think that this cigar has an excellent construction. It's had a really great burn to it. There's been some richness in both the cigar and the spirit. There's been kind of a balanced spice between the two. There's been some slightly sweet undertones. And actually, I think the cigar might even work well with even some stronger spirits. But I feel like this was a really, really great pairing. I think that the body on both of them it's kind of a medium body. There's not a lot of intensity or harshness, which is something you can get in either the higher proof spirits or some of the scotches that may be from the Islay region that have a lot more smoke and peat to them. But I feel like that the sherry finish in the Scotch has really, really contrasted well with the notes on the cigar and vice versa. That silky finish has really made it feel like that there's more richness to both offerings. And I mean, I don't think you can go wrong. I think this is probably one of my best pairings yet. I really worked on this one. I wanted this one to be good because I only had one La Promesa left, so I had to make it good. So I think this has really been kind of a study in balance, contrast, layers of enjoyment, all those kind of things I mentioned in the beginning. I think the bold sherried sweetness of the Scotch really has complemented the cigar's rich and kind of spicy notes, but neither has overwhelmed the other. They have kind of deepened the presence of the other, and they've kind of worked really, really well together. It's perfect for the enthusiast. If you really appreciate like structure and richness and harmony, it is a great sipping and puffing experience. Whether you're, you know, new to cigar pairings or you're seasoned aficionado, whatever you want to say, this duo will definitely offer you a rewarding and flavorful journey. I would give them I hate to try and give hundreds, you know, but I think the pairing would be like a 98 out of 100. It's a great pairing. I might give the cigar, I don't know. I really have to give both of them high points. I was going to say I might give the cigar a little advantage, but I don't know that I can do it. You know, I do want to thank you for staying tuned with me all this time and all my rattling and rambling about things that had nothing to do with cigars and spirits. Be sure to hit like, subscribe, share, notify, ring all the bells, do all that. Share it with your friends. Repost it. I love repostings. Hearts, comments. Tell me I'm a dumbass. Tell me your greatest thing since sliced bread. I don't care. Whatever. Anything you want to say, I don't care. And be sure to go to my page, and I've got a shirt on there. It's got Sticks-n-Stonez on the front of it with the American flag. On the back, it's got a desert camo soldier with his M4 and helmet on, and it's got the Isaiah 6:8 verse above and below it. That's been my bestseller on Amazon. People seem to really love it. So I'm going to have to try and build off of that. But until we get to be together again, keep your sticks dry, Stones Cold. Have a great day.